Hey guys, so in this video we're going to be sharing with you our top 3 favorite attacking formations that we like to use in FIFA 23. So these are some formations that if you're someone who just wants to play a bit more attacking, a bit more aggressive, so the tactics and the instructions are going to be on the more attacking side because these are what we believe to be the best attacking formations. So if you need to get back into a game, maybe you're one down, you want to switch to something a bit more offensive, just kind of get you into those games, these are probably the 3 formations with the instructions and tactics that we recommend. So as always, to show your support, please make sure you hit the like button, make sure you subscribe, but most importantly, make sure that you hit that notifications bell so that you know exactly when we release new content. And the first formation is this 3-4-1-2. We personally prefer this to the 3-5-2. We know the 3-5-2 is probably the more preferred 3-back formation for a lot of people, but we personally just find for our style of play, the 3-4-1-2 is a little bit more comfortable. Of course, the wing backs are sort of the thing that we like to use the most, so you really want to make sure you've got good attacking wing backs. It's got that cam to link up between the mids and the defenders. Obviously, the biggest difference is the centre mids and not CDMs. So when it comes to the tactics, this is just a quick run through of the tactics that we like to use on the 3-4-1-2. Of course, you want to have the 60 depth. You need the depth quite high. You need to be quite high up the field. We don't like to use a press on this formation just simply because it's already a little bit obviously exposed with no fullbacks. Obviously, they're now wing backs. They're sort of left and right midfielders. So their starting position is a little bit higher. So a press could work, but we find that when using a press, it was just too easy for people to play against us. So of course we just want the balance on the build-up play and the direct passing, so that in that final third, that's where a lot of havoc is caused. You get the 2 strikers, the cams, the wide mids, the midfielders get forwards. It can be a little bit exposed, but this formation and these formations are about getting back into the game, and the 3-4-1-2 is so good at creating sort of overloads, especially out wide, especially with this 80 width. It's really important, because what's really important when you're using wing backs is you want them to stay wide. You want to open up your opponent. If they're defending deep, you need to get them to get out and press those wing backs, and that then allows the cam, it allows the midfielders, allows the strikers the space to run in behind, and then for that direct passing to work, and the players in the box of course on 6. And when we go into the instructions, of course the 2 strikers stay central and get behind, the cam on get into the box, the 2 midfielders basically they're just going to be on balance. You want proper box to box midfielders in this, so you want sort of your Pogbas, your Bellinghams, those sort of guys, you know, your Hullets in this position. You need those box to box mids because they need to defend and attack. And then of course on your wing backs, probably the most important players in the formation, you want them on comeback on defense, so that when you're in a defensive shape, of course they get back and they get back and makes a back 5 when you're defending, hard for your opponent to break down. Of course, then they need to bomb on forwards with getting behind. The balance width just so ensures that they stay out wide and they get out there, and then the balance on the crossing runs, same for obviously Cancel on the other side. Defenders are all going to be on stay back while attacking, and then of course your keeper comes to cross and sweep keeper. So 3-4-1-2, great formation. Next up, we've actually got the 4-2-2, which is our favourite formation. This is just, for us, the best formation in the game, by far. It's just the formation that is great for attacking, it's great for defending, and we just score so many goals with this formation that, whilst it's not necessarily an attacking formation, we just find that it's so easy to score goals and create chances with this formation that we just have to include it in this list. Now, these are the tactics that obviously we use for our 4-2-2, just kind of day in, day out. This is what we use to play with all the time. So this one is not necessarily about getting back into a game. This is just something that we use, and we just score so many goals. It's just so easy to score with it, just because we're so comfortable with the formation. Of course, the way it plays. Of course, the 60 depth, again, is just a number that we're comfortable with playing with. It allows us to get forwards, get the players up the pitch, so of course that their runs are more effective, and we're just able to dictate the play without being too open defensively. Then, of course, we like the slow build-up direct passing combo, so it kind of just lulls our opponent, of course, when we've got the ball in our, midfield, in defense, just kind of lulls them, and then we get into that final third, that direct passing kicks in. Of course, then you need to be able to speed up your play, exploit the space, and then we're able to do that. We're able to create so many chances anyway. And then the 60 width, just of course, because the wide cams need to obviously provide a little bit of width here and there. And then the players in the box, the corners and free kicks, just what we like to use for the 4-2-2. And then into the instructions, of course, the 2 strikers. One of them, your quickest striker, wants to be on stay central and get him behind. And then your other one wants to be on false 9. So you're sort of more playmaking striker, whoever that be. Whoever's got sort of better passing and better dribbling wants to be on that false 9. And then, of course, the 2 DMs, Both going to be on cut passing lanes, stay back while attacking, and cover center. You want proper out and out defensive midfielders in this slot. And then moving into the 2 wide cams, you want both of these guys on just the get into the box. We're actually going to have them on free roam just so they drift around a little bit. Of course, makes it a little bit harder for our opponent to pick them up. Just something free roam we're trying to experiment with again, and it just seems to be working for us right now. So of course we're going to stick with that. And then of course the defenders are all going to be on stay back while attacking, and the fullback's going to be on that overlap. Of course, that back four is really important, just so they stay in position and don't get out of position too obviously. And then keeper are going to be on comes through crosses and sweeper keeper. So the 4-2-2 might not be a super attacking setup, a super attacking formation, but it just shows how good this formation is that we're able to score so many goals without it being so open and attacking. So now before we continue, if you want us to make more videos like this, make sure that you hit the thumbs up button and make sure you comment below right now with your thoughts and questions on any other videos and topics you would like us to make going forwards. So let's jump into that third formation. And that third and final formation is going to be the 4-3-3-4. So the 4-3-3 attacking. This is a great formation. Of course, when we're playing offensively, getting back into a game, you need a formation that is super attacking. You need a formation that's going to go forward. You've got to be willing to take a few risks. Of course, with the way we set this one up, with the tactics, you can see press on possession loss paired with that direct passing, and that 60 width, again, just that number that we like to use. Of course, when you're playing on a press, you've got to play it on a high depth. You know, I wouldn't recommend going over about 65 probably as a maximum. I think anything more than that just becomes a little bit too much, too kamikaze, a bit too overly aggressive. So that press on possession loss and direct passing is going to create you so many opportunities, but when you lose possession, of course, you are going to be open to counterattacks. But hey, you're playing this formation to try and get back into a game, so you're willing to take a few risks. The 60 width, again, we want those wide wingers to obviously provide a little bit of width, but we don't want to be so detached from the build-up play that, of course, they're just out there on their own, on an island, and they're just not helpful at all. So you need them, of course, you know, a little bit narrow so they're able to help. But the instructions that we use, of course, with the wingers on free roam, just allows them to get involved in the play a little bit more, so they don't just get stuck out there and they're just sort of like running in behind and then you're not able to find them. The free roam allows them to sort of make those key runs in between the centre back and fullback, which is really important because that's where you want them. You don't want them running on the outside of a fullback. You want them running in between the fullback and the centre back, and they can only do that if they're on free roam. And of course, you want them to get into the box. The striker, of course, stay central, get behind. You just want a lethal finisher, somebody with pace, somebody making those runs in behind, pairs up with that direct passing, of course. Of course, you can want to be on getting to the box. You two midfielders, we want them on stay on the edge of the box. Don't want these guys getting into the box. Want them just there to sort of clean up anything, just sort of sustain attacks more than anything. If they get into the box and then a counter attack starts to happen, there's no one there to break it up. So we need these guys on stay on the edge of the box. Again, you want proper box-to-box midfielders. So your Pogbas, your Hullets, your Bellinghams, those sorts of players you want in these positions. And then, of course, when you get into the defense, you're going to have them just all on stay back while attacking. You know, I just don't want them too crazy. If you want, you can leave these guys on balanced if you want to go like very attacking, but then, of course, you know, you might concede that second, that third goal that just kills off that game. So it depends on the situation. If you're sort of 2 goals down in a game, I'd just stick these guys on join the attack. If you were 2 down, if you just want a formation where, you know, maybe the game's 0-0 and you just want to go and go for the jugular and try and get that breakthrough, I'd recommend balanced. And if you sort of, you know, not too concerned about getting back into the game, you know, and leaving yourself far too open, then stay back while attacking is best. So it depends on your level of aggression, depends on the situation. So that is it for our top 3 most attacking formations. So if it's a situation where you need to get a goal, you know, you're struggling in a game, you just need to get back into that game, whether it be to win the game, you know, whether it be to tie the game, or whatever it may be. If you want to just play a little bit more attacking, we've got that 4-2-2. You want to go really aggressive and get back into the game, you've got that 4-3-3-4, and you want something that's sort of in between. The 3-back formation is the one to go with. So we've kind of got all bases covered in this video. So hopefully you find one of those formations that you can add to your game plan and just give you that little edge when you're playing your games. So as we said earlier in the video, if you do want us to continue to make more videos like this one, then we do need your support. So make sure that you smash that like button, make sure that you subscribe, and make sure you turn on that notifications bell. And also, if you want to ask us any further questions, make sure you join our Discord. The link to that is down in the description. So thanks for watching. I'm going to see you in the next one.